VigilanteWilliamson here with a very simple question. That is, why have we become so laughably impatient with the quarterback position in the NFL, despite constantly seeing evidence of why patience is necessary? In this situation, I'm in particular talking about both Dillon Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders for the woeful Cleveland Browns franchise, mainly because I constantly see every year, and even predicted Daniel Jones this year, but between Daniel Jones, between Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, you can even argue my quarterback for the Lions twice, Jared Goff. We see quarterbacks that get written off, and then when they are in a better situation, they thrive. Hell, look at Bryce Young, a guy who his first 2 years, a lot of people were questioning whether or not he should even be an NFL quarterback. And now he's one game out of hosting a playoff game and winning the division in the NFC South, and just came off a 400-yard performance. For whatever reason, Peyton Manning had 28 interceptions his rookie year. For whatever reason, we're very, very wildly impatient with quarterbacks. And I've seen that with both Dillon Gabriel and Shedeur. Shedeur just finally had his first bit of playing time. I have no idea why the Cleveland Browns drafted him or why they haven't cut him. If they hate him so much, this has been the wackiest, most ridiculous situation. Probably some CIA ethno-political distraction plan. But that not aside, I have no idea why they create this circus for themselves. In any event, Shedeur finally played. Didn't look too good. Of course, everybody hates him, and he's not an NFL quarterback after one start. Like, you guys would love Peyton Manning again. And even before that, when Dillon Gabriel got his time, I saw a lot of Shedeur fans that were unfair to him after a few games. I need like 30 starts, 40 starts out of a QB before you know if he's good. That's how we keep getting into this situation. That's why I was able to predict the motherfucking Colts situation. I didn't think they would be this good, but I thought they would make the playoffs when they got Daniel Jones, because this is a team game. I think because we had such a great period of quarterbacks with Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Aaron Rodgers, Ben Roethlisberger, and a ton of others, Phillip Rivers, Matt Ryan, they were all playing at the same time, and we start convincing ourselves that quarterback was the most important position, and it is ish. It is ish, right? You need a whole team. Yes, it may be the most important position, but it's still a dependent position. You're dependent on your offensive line. You're dependent on your receivers. It's not just the quarterback is the driving thing and you could just win based off of your quarterback. That's not how it works. That's not how Tom Brady won rings. It's not how anybody wins rings. You need a whole team. And yes, you do need that leadership from the quarterback, but it's not something that happens in a vacuum. Plus, I think another thing is the era previous, you had a lot of quarterbacks put up such crazy numbers, and there were so many rules getting pushed towards the offense that it made us think that, and we even had like quarterbacks hit the ground running from their rookie year. So it made us kind of undervalue what it took to develop a quarterback. And so now, if a quarterback isn't great off the jump, we're ready to throw him in the bus. We saw the same with Caleb Williams. Now he's leading his division right now. And I hate to say that. Again, I'm a Lions fan. And I could probably make a thing about Goff and his struggles, but I'll leave that alone for now. But we constantly are ready to throw these quarterbacks out the first sign of trouble. And there's no wonder we are such a disloyal generation and nobody can have a relationship. Like, that's not how life works. You have to work through things. And I think neither Dillon Gabriel or Shedeur Sanders, going back to that point, will have enough time in this one season to show how good they are. I think for both of them, it would be best if they could somehow leave this dumpster of a franchise. And I know I'm no one to talk. I'm a Lions fan. We've only been good for a cup of coffee the past few years. But, man, the Cleveland Browns are a horrible franchise. There's a reason they have had like 40 quarterbacks since their re-inception in the late 90s. They do not develop quarterbacks well. Stefanski should be fired. Now, honestly, I think the whole AFC North needs to fire their coach after this season. I know that may be a hot take, but that's a whole nother can of worms for the other teams. But think Stefanski and the GM need to be fired. They need a fresh start. I honestly think, again, they should get rid of, for their own sake, for just getting rid of the circus, both Shedeur and Gabriel, and give those guys a chance to earn jobs elsewhere. I'm not getting into the back and forth of why we got here, but that we are here, there's no way in one season either quarterback would have gotten enough time for me to know they're not good enough. You need more than that for rookie and young quarterbacks. It takes a while to develop. It just does. It takes a long time. It could take 3, 4, 5 years to really get to where you want to get. And then you'll say, well, what about Drake May? Well, Drake May's fucking great. There are some quarterbacks that are fucking great. Everybody's not going to be fucking great. You got to give him time. And honestly, like I said, I don't think either's going to get enough time. Even, whatever the next 4 or 5 games, 6 games, however many games is left in the season, you give him to Shedeur, that's not enough time for me to know if he's good or not. You go to J.J. McCarthy. A lot of people writing him off. Oh, you should have kept Sam Darnold. I don't know if he's good or not. Not after like 4 or 5 starts. I won't know by the end of this season. I won't know until the end of next season, provided he doesn't have injuries. Now, that's another can of worms for him. While I'm on the subject, you can argue maybe JJ is injury prone. That's one thing to argue because he keeps getting hurt, especially having leg injuries. But unless you get at least 40, may be too much for some people. But God, you really do need 3 years. You need 3 years of starting before you know if a quarterback is a bust. Sometimes 4. Hell, I keep wanting to talk shit about Trevor Lawrence as being a bust, but he just went out and, as of this record, he just blew out the fucking Chargers. And, maybe he still has something left. Who knows? So I don't know. I think we need to stop being so quick to write off these quarterbacks. No matter what you feel about this crazy Shedeur Sanders thing, whether you're a fan of his or you're not, I think both him and Gabriel deserve better. Especially when you talk about this offensive line. It's no secret or no confusion on why a guy like Joe Flacco was able to go to the other Ohio team and play so much better, at least offensively, at least, from a production standpoint. Obviously, they're still not winning games. Again, the whole AFC North needs to get their coaches fired because that defense is so atrocious, but the offense has been great. That's what happens when you have Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. So you need to build around a quarterback. You need a quarterback with infrastructure. And even there, like I said, I think that coach needs to be fired. The offensive line is not that great, which is what led to Joe Burrow getting hurt. So I know we want to be quarterback centric. I know we all, love Tom Brady. He's the GOAT. And we think, oh, you just got to draft a guy and he's going to be great. And then you win games because of your quarterback. You win games because of your team. You win games because of your team. Look at Bo Nix. I've heard a lot of people talk crap about him, but that team is still leading this division. A lot of it is the defense. You're right, a lot of it's not him, but it doesn't matter. He's doing enough to win. It's a team game. It's a team game. You're not always going to get the flashy quarterbacks. We had the Mahomes years winning, and who knows if they're going to make the playoffs. I think they will, but I know we want to be quarterback-centric. I know we want to be impatient. I know we only want to give a guy one start, but it takes more time. I have no idea if Shedeur Sanders is a starting NFL quarterback. One game is not going to tell me that. I have no idea if Dylan Gabriel is a starting NFL quarterback. 4 or 5 games is not going to tell me that. Honestly, I think Dylan Gabriel has some potential. His first couple games weren't terrible. And even though he probably should have more picks, he didn't turn the ball over as bad as you would think. So I think both need a chance. I kind of want them both to go be backup somewhere else and see if they can't learn the game elsewhere. I don't think Cleveland's a good environment to learn the game. I think they need to overhaul the whole franchise from top to the bottom. They need to get rid of the coach. They need to get rid of GM. They invested a lot of Myles Garrett, so can they invest in the rest of the team? Maybe trade Myles Garrett if they can find a contender. As much as what Dallas did was kind of frowned upon, trading Micah Parsons, and they kind of wasted the pick. That's neither here nor there. There's something to be said about, starting to start over, trying to do a clean rebuild, trying to get as many picks as you can And going forward, I think Cleveland needs to do that. I don't know what the hell I don't know why they drafted both Dillon Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders. I have no idea why they made that decision. I don't know if it was the owner. I don't know if it was the GM. I don't know if it was the coach. I don't know, again, if the CIA said, hey, we need a distraction tactic to make everybody, we need another ethno-political distraction tactic. So you draft Shedeur Sanders and people can make it about race and we can have people debate about bullshit. Maybe it was a CIA psyop. I don't know. It would make more sense. It would make more sense as a CIA psyop than it was competitive football. I have no idea with the Cleveland Browns, but what do you say? What do you think about the way we treat quarterbacks, and in particular, both Dillon Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders? You let me know what you think in the comments. Peace.